Welcome to the podcast, Leading and Growing Your Real Estate Business by Coach James Short. This podcast is designed to help you with strategies, insights, and ways to increase sales, build and lead high-performing teams, and ultimately grow your business. Your host, James Short himself, also shares some of his secret sources on how he helps his own clients achieve business growth quickly and easily. James has been coaching those in the real estate and property industry for close to 10 years now, and his clients keep on saying, since working with James, their results have been outstanding, giving them more money, time, and fulfillment. James is offering a free strategy call to those listening to see how he can assist you to take your business to where you want to go. Simply go to jamesshort.com.au/strategy and book in a time today. Now on with the show.
Hi and welcome to another edition of Leading and Growing Your Real Estate Business. This is Coach James Short and we have got an amazing guest for you guys today. Wow, it is such a privilege to have guests like this on because, sometimes we get so caught in our own little trenches where we're running around. It's just nice to come up and have a breath to find out what else is people doing out there. So today we're very fortunate to have an amazing guest, Judy White. Now, Judy White runs J&W Property and is founded to offer an ethical and uncomplicated approach to property purchase, representation and negotiation. And Judy has been working over the years to really, and she found back when she first started, the biggest difficulty with clients would encounter prior to seeking advice was searching for properties that suit long lists of requirements, attending lengthy inspections, and even feeling confident during the negotiation or auction process can unfortunately manifest as a stressful experience for many purchasers out there. So true. And so this is where Judy saw the opportunity, saw the inclination, go, you know what, we're going to do things different out here. We're going to set things apart. And so this is where J&W Property has formed. So let's get Judy on the line with us today. Judy, thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you, James, and thank you for contacting me.
Lovely. So let's get back to those first time you got into the industry. What got you involved with the real estate industry in the first place?
Well, I come from a property developing background, and I've been doing that for quite a few years, which also involved interior, taking the property from the excavation right up to the new cut.
Yeah. And
I'd been doing that for about 15 years. And then I had a light bulb moment when I was actually with a friend who was getting divorced and didn't know how to navigate the property market and asked me what to do, and I was quite sort of actually taken aback by that because I do come from a banking background as well, so I know how to read contracts, everything.
Yep.
So I just had this epiphany. It sort of like was lightning through my head. It sounded a bit like Smee on Hook. It was. And I just thought, okay, because she was frustrated with the sales agents and how they knew she was cashed up. There was a little bit of, if you don't get it now, she was in a vulnerable situation. So I actually then thought, what do I have to do to be able to go out there and help people and actually get them through this process? But get them through the process where I also teach them what to do and let them fly so the next time they know what to do and they can go out and do it. So that's when I got my license and went to the Real Estate Institute, and they said, these are the courses you have to do. So that took about a year or a bit longer to do that. And then I achieved my license, and then I started out and started my own business.
Lovely.
It was most probably quite brave, and but I decided to be independent and transparent as well. And that is so true what it says on my website. I do want to make it uncomplicated. I want to make it ethical as well. And I also want to be the person that can shield the sales agents from my clients, and I can take that white noise away. So that the other thing that's also on my website is that they buy the right property and they don't feel, yeah.
So true, so true. So tell us about some of the clients, not obviously in details, but like who are you working with now? Who is that ideal client that you're really helping and making a difference with? Yeah.
Well, I've worked for some expats. I've worked for a few women that have come out of marriages. I've also worked for I think she's 25, 26, buying her first home, and the parents were helping her out. So I really enjoyed that process because I took her through the whole process. She didn't even know what a contract was because mum and dad had looked at the contract and just sort of said, oh, can you go to auction, help her out, do all this? And I said, well, I'm going to sit down with your daughter and we'll go through it so she can buy her own property. So at the moment I'm working for a man has separated just at the end of last year, and he has a couple of teenage daughters, and I'm quite excited about that because it's the first time I've had a male that's actually thinks, oh yes, I need your help. So I'm going to take it. Well, he's a businessman, he's up in the corporate world, he knows what to do, but he doesn't have the time. So that's me doing all the legwork.
Fantastic. So, I mean, it's so important, that education and providing that level of service, it is so important because it empowers people, right? You're empowering people to make a decision, after they've done, the first purchase with you, then they've got the skills and the know-how to really take ownership over their own direction as well, which is fantastic.
And that's really important to me because I hate the word agent as well. I don't depict myself as that agent. I'm coming in at a different level where I'll come in, I'll actually help you. I will provide the service. I won't let go of your hand until you pull it away. Yeah. So completely to the end until we sort of walk through the front door. If that's what they want, we'll put the key in together and walk through the front door. So I'm very service orientated. I don't take on a lot of clients at once because I like to concentrate on just finding the right place. And it actually takes quite a long time because I find that clients get a bit frustrated and they go, well, what about this place? And I said, well, hang on a minute, let's brief. You know that brief?
Come back to this part. Yeah.
This is the brief. So what is it about this house or this apartment? So all those things come into it where I'm sort of their conscience as well.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, obviously there's been, some ups and downs along the way. What are some of the, I guess, challenges that when you look back, you've come through the other side, but what's some of those challenges that you look back and go, wow, I've really learnt from that, which has made you a better person?
I think one of the challenges has been getting sales agents to understand that a buyer's agent is actually an asset to their business. We're not in competition with them.
So true.
But there was always this barrier of, well, we're going to sell someone, Mrs. Smith's property, but we want to actually get her to buy one of our properties as well. And to me, I think if you said, look, here's a buyer's agent, they're still offering the service, and to me, I think both people win because their client's happy and going, wow, we sold through them. They recommended this person and we've bought the property we want, whether you get it through that agency or not.
Yep.
But that's one of the challenges I've found, and the sales agents are still very, they're still resistant to that.
Education process, put it that way.
It certainly is. And also, I just think because there's not a lot of women, it's very male dominated. So, and I find also they like to box you and go, well, okay, we think she's that and this. So I find that interesting.
Yep.
But when I go in to do business, they realise that they've got the box really wrong.
Correct. And that you mean business.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
Because I've got that hearing side and wanting to do the right thing for my client. But then if you don't tell me the truth or you're starting to muck around, then, okay, that's when I come in with, all guns blazing.
So true. So tell us about some of those wins. You've had some great wins over your time. What have been some of those wins that you're most proud of?
Oh, the one I really love is this client that I worked for. She was sort of the empty nester / divorced, but wanting to downsize. So there was a few things happening there. And I've looked at a lot of properties, and she was one that sort of said, well, what about this one? I said, it doesn't fit your brief. Tell me why. So she quite liked the challenge of that as well. But when we found the house, that I knew this was it, because she said it makes my heart sing. And then, so I just said, okay, let's go and see if we can get it for you. So that was fantastic. And she's just really thrilled, really happy. But it was very interesting. The negotiation process was quite a good process when we went in to see the real estate agent. And I knew how much money she was prepared to spend. And so we got it for nearly 300,000 less.
Wow.
So she was thrilled. And she said, you'd make a good poker player. And I said, yeah. Yeah, so that was, I just love that process. But then when it came to the final inspection, that's when I had to arc up with the sales agent and say, right, what's going on? Who's not right? I'm with my client. We're doing final inspection. And afterwards, I received a text from my client, and she said, thanks for having my back. She said, that's a side of you I haven't seen. I said, well, they weren't doing the right thing by you. So
yeah,
they found out that, yeah.
Real quick.
I said, well, I'm working for you, not for them. Yeah. Wow. So that's the one of mine really touched my heart. And then the other one was the daughter who bought this house. The parents put a lot of money in to buy this house in Sydney. You can imagine it was a big thing, and that was a really interesting process as well, because it was auction and I had my limit to go to, and it went over the amount, and then they were really disappointed. And then after the auction, I said, well, what do you do? And the actual bidder who won the bid walked away. And anyway, so then I went in and they got that. So they were over the moon as well. But I just find that my clients actually turn into my friends as well. So I love that.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So you've obviously been around teams and you've seen some leaders come and go in the past. What do you think makes up a really winning team, and what do you think makes up a really, really amazing leader?
Well, I think a leader is somebody who sets it by example and actually works in a team but guides the team and steers them to a good point of professionalism. But is always there keeping the boat very well afloat. I think a leader's not somebody that you're frightened of. A leader is someone that you just go, yeah, we're here, let's get the job done, and we're all here for the one purpose. Yeah. You might be paid more than me, but it's very important that our client's the most important person here.
Yep.
So with the teams, I've seen a lot of change in the real estate industry, especially just in my area. A lot of franchises changing. I think it's started to settle down, but that's really created a bit of confusion as well with potential clients, like what's going on with this one, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So true. So if you were to give 3 pieces of advice to those, you've gone out and you've created your own business, which is amazing. If you were to give 3 pieces of advice to those maybe looking to do the same, what would those 3 pieces of advice be?
Make sure you've come from some good grounding. Just what skills have you got from where you're coming from that you can bring into this? Have you been watching real estate your whole life, like I have? I bought my first property at the age of 21, so I've always been dealing with real estate. So make sure you enjoy it.
Yep.
Also say the first 3 years are the hardest, so you've really got to get out there and prospecting and all the time to get your name out there. And the third thing is just enjoy it and embrace it.
Yeah, so true. So what's coming up for you? What's the next 2 to 3 years look like for you and the business?
So the next 2 to 3 years, I want to keep my business as it is because I like the one-on-one, and I like to I get involved with my clients. So I want to concentrate on that, maybe delving more across the Harbour Bridge. I have done a little bit in the eastern suburbs, but I sort of dipped my toe in there, and it's just a very different demographic over there with the agents you deal with. That's an eye-opener.
Yep.
So getting across the Harbour Bridge, still servicing the clients in the Lower North Shore, and maybe also helping the children of the clients that I've helped as well.
Yeah, fantastic. That's great. It's beautiful. Nice to empower the younger generation to also make a difference. That's fantastic.
Well, I'm surprised that, and I suppose that's true. If you haven't bought a property, you're not going to know. And also, I'm lucky because I've had the banking background, so knowing. But it would be, where do I start? And what's this contract? What does it mean? And even buying a strata, you've got to do your due diligence because you could be buying a heap of rubbish that's going to cost you a fortune in the future.
Yeah, exactly.
So I like doing all of that, delving into this property's, I wouldn't be touching it, or this one's good, go for it.
Yeah, fantastic. So how can the listeners find out more, and where can you send them?
Well, I can send them to my website, which is jnwproperty.com.au. Send me an email or give me a call. I'm happy to have a chat, go and take you for a coffee and just tell you what I do. And
that's awesome. Judy, really appreciate your time, energy, expertise, and just to having a chat to find out what's happening in your world and for you to be able to share your story. So once again, really appreciate it.
Thank you, James. Thanks so much.